About the diagram we talked in the previous class, the limbic system and the cerebral cortex, the new brain and the old brain. This blue part, this is a diagram of the human brain. In this blue part is the gross hair or the cerebral cortex or the new brain, neocortex. And the yellow inside it is called the paleocortex or the old brain or the limbic system. Now, this limbic system deals with survival, fear, fight, flight. This deals with that. So, and this keeps the record of millions of years through which human beings have passed. When human beings were living in caves or under trees, they didn't know the use of fire. They didn't know the use of clothes. Their philosophy was kill or be killed, eat or be eaten. All those records are here. So all your stress is related to that. So till now, when you find in your workplace some adverse situation, this memory works and you think everything is lost. And then you panic. Fear comes, or blood pressure goes up, and this fight or flight mechanism kicks in. But you don't really run, you don't really fight. You just sit and get cooked up in your own stress soup. So that is where Kriya Yoga helps. If you refer to the previous diagram, that your thoughts are affecting your physiological functions like blood pressure, secretion, and all things, they come from here. But interesting thing is, this limbic system or the old brain proposes. He gives a proposal that I'm going to do this. I'm asking this fellow, I'm making changes in the body. So this fellow can run, blood pressure goes up, sugar goes up, and all these things happen. But there he is watching. He disposes the new brain. Now hold on. Those days, millions of years ago in the jungle, caves is no more there. Now you're in your office. Your security system is excellent. So don't run. Just sit, relax. Still people can't do that. That is where Kriya Yoga helps. It balances the life energy, the prana. So mind becomes calm. Mind becomes intuitive power develops by meditation, and then you know what to deal, how to deal in different situations. So all these records are there. So now this limbic system is the headquarters of this hypothalamus and pituitary. So this is the animal kingdom. And this is the human kingdom. And hidden in these is the divine kingdom. So this is the animal. And this animal has to be sacrificed accordingly. So when you give the donation, the greed, animal qualities, greed, anger, hatred, all these are there. But by your wisdom, by your intellect, and by calmness of the mind, obtained through Kriya Yoga practice, you don't panic anymore. Even if you panic little, because that knowledge is there. So it suppresses, it overrules the order passed by the limbic system. That is where yoga and spiritual practice helps. And now they act through, there are three nervous systems. This is the central nervous system, then peripheral nervous system, and then there is the autonomic nervous system. They perform different actions so that a person may survive. Next. This is how your body is represented in the cerebral cortex. This is section, and your whole body is represented here. So when anything happens to your body, it is happening there. So when there is a stroke, some part in the brain gets damaged. Suppose it is stroke is here, your hand will be paralyzed. If it is somewhere here, the legs and hands half will be paralyzed. And you know, the largest area is occupied by the lips and the hands. So they are very sensitive. Their lips and hands are very sensitive. By holding, by touching, you can influence a person and change his emotional system. And same thing with the lips. You know, lips are so, you see, lips are represented over such a big area. Your whole foot and leg is here. Your lips are so much area and tongue is so much area. So whatever is you are doing here is happening here. When I am talking here, it is happening here. Remember it. Next. This is the brain diagram. This is the front, this is the back. And arrow connects each other in two-way direction. So each influences the other influences this, and this is the visual area, this is temporal area, this is the frontal area. Now the spiritual center is somewhere here. Here, somewhere here is the spiritual center. And this area, suppose you have two eyes, now the eyes are inside two sockets. In this eye socket, just above it, this area hangs. So that's why when you do the bow, this area is the lowermost, get maximum blood supply, and you become calm, and your brain power improves. By this bow technique, though very simple, very powerful. So even if children not studying well, hyperactive, very active, if they do the bow technique, they will have better control. And the parents will have good time, children will have good time, teachers will have a good time. Next. Wait, please let us back. Now, why we say you meditate with a smile, with a loving attitude? Because once you generate loving attitude here, it spreads all over. Your whole brain is filled with love. And then all actions become loving and you don't get stressed at all, but you evolve higher. Love is a higher thing, evolve higher. Next. Yeah, this. Now, it is very interesting. This is the picture of an animal cell. The cells are structural units in every being. All beings they have. And in the center you will see this is the nucleus, nucleolus. This is mitochondria. And this actually is the energy powerhouse by which energy power the cell is alive. It excretes, it secretes, it does many other things of a living creature. So, but interestingly, how does it look like? Bernard Baba, how does it look like? This purple thing and this.
Like the egg.
Huh?
It's an egg.
Egg. It looks like Lord Shiva's symbol, Shivalingam. Go to Shiva temple in India or anywhere in Lord Shiva's temple, that is the symbol of Lord Shiva. And this is Shakti. There is Shakti and Shiva. Mono, one God, and he's projecting the whole creation and through his energy. Shakti is energy. So it is not for nothing that these people worship this symbol, because that's the source of life, basis of life. Next, please. Next. This is a photograph. This is the new brain, and inside is the old brain, and this is cerebellum, balancing mechanism. Here is the tongue, mouth, and the brain is connected with this midbrain, and this is the pons, and this is the medulla oblongata. All vital structures are here. If there is damage here, immediate death. And this is the spinal cord. Next, please. Through which the brain controls the whole system. I am moving this in, it is happening here. Next. 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 This is the animal cell, the same structure. So animal cell, the plant cell. The plants have life. So plant is a living being. So if when you are harming a tree or a cutting, you are actually cutting a living entity. So there is sin in it. Next, please. Next. Next. Wait. Please, thank you. This is the structures in the abdomen. Can you imagine when you do Mahamudra, all the structures, tongue, Khechari Mudra, food pipe, esophagus, liver, gallbladder, stomach, duodenum, small intestines, large intestine, ascending colon, transverse, descending rectum, all in Mahamudra they are affected. They are exercised. So no disease can happen there. And health remains good and blood circulation is maintained. Next. 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 Wait, please. This is the brain and how this brain controls the whole body through a network of nerves right up to here. Every single centimeter area, millimeter area, even less, micrometer area, these nerves are there and they inform the brain what is happening. So the intelligence gathering system is much better than human political intelligence gathering system there in the human system. Next. So when you do the Mahamudra, all these are benefited. Next. These are the blood vessels. The blue ones are the veins. They collect impure blood from the periphery and send it to the heart, then to the lungs, purify, and purified blood comes back to the heart to be pumped through the red channels, the arteries. And when you do Mahamudra, all these are affected, beneficial. They are all exercised. So Mahamudra is a great technique. Next. 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 Is the enlarged view of hypothalamus and pituitary. Next. Next. Here, the apana. I was talking about 5 types of prana. This is apana, this is samana, this is dhyana, this is udana. So if you overactivate this apana by overusing the sexual energy or by mistake by bad food, diarrhea or dysentery, so apana is overactivated and that is killing you. That is so lowering your vitality and energy, so that you cannot concentrate on a higher thing or meditation. Mind becomes so restless, can't reach there. Next, please. Next. This Krishna teaching, this is the situation or condition where God himself as a teacher came down to the mightiest of warrior and king about the importance of performing duties, whether pleasant or unpleasant. Next is. Next. 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 You see, this is the messenger of God. Hanuman. Lord Rama was the incarnation of God, and this is Hanuman who served him, and because he is God's servant, he has the mightiest power, and no obstacle could check him. No bad person or devil person can obstruct his service to God. And he is always doing Mahamudra, you see. That's why Mahamudra gives you great strength and energy and vitality. So you get favor from God himself. Next. This is writing, this saint is known as Valmiki, who is the first human poet. He wrote this Ramayana story of Rama. Next. This is how, Hanuman, when only Rama touched him and he touched Rama, he realized Rama stands for Atmaram, the soul God. So only when you realize your soul, your immense power will come to your help. And you realize it, and you can perform any difficult task. Nothing is impossible for you. Next. 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 Now, the other one, please show me the other previous one. Here. This is the depiction of God in 3 aspects. He is the physical body, action-oriented. This is the wisdom body, small, but it controls this. And this is the causal body. Black means invisible. And white stands for visibility. So the physical, gross, subtle, and the subtlest. And no, this is the representation of God devotees have made. The interesting thing is the eyes are so big. Stand there, you cannot hide anything from God. He looks at you. And you see, he has no eyelid. Means he doesn't blink. So you cannot say, oh God, when you were blinking, I was in trouble. He says, no. So he has removed it. So God doesn't blink. Constantly he keeps looking, knows everybody's thought. And you know what he's doing? He's not angry. He's smiling. He says his children are playing so many mischiefs. So he's smiling. Keeping the door open. When you are in trouble, come, pray to him, and he will help you. And how he will help? These two hands, these two hands actually they extend like this. And there is no finger. And it is parallel. So parallel line, when you extend it, it doesn't meet. Means his reach is infinite. Wherever you are, God can reach you. His help can come. This is the assurance. So always please, even if you know everything, keep smiling. If somebody is talking against you, keep smiling. If somebody is praising you, keep smiling. So you will never get stressed. Next, please. This is the a short history of different religions. There are, according to the Vedic culture, there are 4 yugas. Satya Yuga, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. It goes on in cycle, the time zones. And each yuga is several thousands of years. And so the first was Satya Yuga, and the great saints were Bhrigu, Kashyapa, and Parasurama, and other great saints. And then comes Treta. Here time, approximate time is written here. Rama, saints are Vasishtha, Vishwamitra, Agastya. And the Dwapara is 2500 years BC. Krishna, Vyasa. This Vyasa has come, when Krishna was teaching, he wrote down in the Mahabharata, Yajnavalkya, Bharadwaja, Kaushika, Parasara. Then 600 BC is Buddhism and Jainism simultaneous. And 300 BC, the name Hinduism came. Do you know how Hinduism came? At that time, Alexander the Great from Macedonia, he invaded India. He reached this Indus River divided, so he reached the far other bank up, and he was camping there, resting, because they were tired, and they heard that many powerful armies are there in the other bank, so they were thinking what to do, whether to go back. So this river is known as Sindhu. So according to their vocabulary, they could not, either they misheard or somehow they uttered it Hindu. So they say Hindu land. Actually it was Sindhu land. So this is one of the concepts of this word Hindu came into being, though it is there since so many thousands of years. Then revival of Hinduism by Shankaracharya. We talked about Shankaracharya, the concept of Maya, the how to know God, what may be God, and what is the relation of the creation with God and God's relationship here. And that Maya word he coined, Shankaracharya. Adi means his successor also known as Shankaracharya. And then Hinduism and Sikhism came, modified, simplified for general public. The same Vedic culture was so elaborate, so big, so vast, and people's intelligence also came down. So the great saints came and started the present day system, what you see nowadays. And in that ritualistic things, the Advaita Vedanta, the Maya system, the meditation, the yoga got hidden. Now it is revived through Bhagavad Gita and many yoga teachers' philosophy. So, thank you very much. Now wait. This is another concept of God, the Supreme Spirit. From him came 4 Vedas, the book of knowledge. And they taught 6 groups of philosophies. Vedic philosophy, there are 6 groups. One is Sankhya, Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa, Nyaya, and the other is Yoga. And so nowadays, this Nyaya and this Mimamsa, Nyaya Vaisheshika, they are gone. They are no more in practice. It is among only few sincere followers. But Yoga comes. Yoga is a combination of Sankhya and Patanjali's teachings. And in Sankhya philosophy, they didn't believe in God. They never used the word God. They say the whole creation is Prakriti and Purush, male element and female element. It is Patanjali who came, he took up Sankhya teaching, but he put God concept there. So that is where the Ashtanga Yoga Patanjali is there. So there is God realization has to be done. And this is Yoga Vedanta. This is the ritualistic things, the older things. So all the temple rituals and fire ceremonies, yajna, havan, it is Purva Mimamsa. Then it developed into Yoga Vedanta. Yoga, meditation, mind control, sense control, and realizing your oneness with God. Then the Hinduism and its derivatives, there are many, according to Hinduism, there are 330 million gods and goddesses.